To the UPT board members of the 176 Fighter Squadron, I'm Captain William Hintz, and I'm beyond ecstatic to be applying to this year's UPT board. I was born and raised in Baraboo, Wisconsin, just 45 minutes north of Madison, and at a young age, about 10 years old, I took off from the Baraboo Dalles Regional Airport in a Cessna 170 and immediately fell in love with aviation. After my first trip to the Oshkosh Air Show, seeing fighters rip over the crowd, I knew that one day I was going to be a fighter pilot. But ultimately, probably from watching Band of Brothers way too many times in high school, I decided I want to be an airborne infantry officer in the 82nd Airborne Division. So I went to Appalachian State, did Army ROTC there, went on to Ibelocan Ranger School in Fort Benning, Georgia, and then to the 82nd Airborne Division, where I was a rifle platoon leader, jump master, so I got to hang out of C-130s and C-17s, also an S-3 air officer and company executive officer. I was then hired by the 75th Ranger Regiment and went to 1st Ranger Battalion, where I got a deployment to Afghanistan, where I worked with JTACs and other Rangers as we coached the Afghan officers on how to find, fix, and destroy Taliban targets. I then came home. I was a platoon leader in the 1st Ranger Battalion, where I worked to train up my platoon as one of the last strike forces in Afghanistan. And during that train up, I became intimately familiar with how to talk to tactical aircraft and paint that picture for them on the ground. Then later on, I went to the Maneuver Captain's Career Course at Fort Benning, Georgia, where I became intimately familiar with ground tactical planning and the implementation of SEED and CAS. And the suppression and destruction of enemy air defense is the main reason why I want to be a fighter pilot, because I get to kill the enemy while protecting the ones that I care about in the 82nd Airborne Division and the 75th Ranger Regiment and all American forces and partner forces on that. Additionally, I want to fly for Madison because it's my home state and I have tons of family there. I also have a godson who's 3 years old who loves aviation, and I cannot wait to hopefully be a member of the team there and further stoke his interest in aviation. And I also just don't want to be a fighter pilot. I want to be a member of the team there. I want to learn from all members of the team, the NCOs, the junior enlisted, the other airmen, and everyone else, and all the other fighter pilots, and I just want to be the most productive member of that team as I can be. So I look forward to the opportunity. I can't wait to meet you guys. Take care, and thanks for your time.